Hi everybody, welcome back to Astrology, the astrology of I Am, and this week's Snapshot of the Sky. We have some pretty interesting energy happening, not the least of which is the full moon. The full moon is in Scorpio. And I wanted to share something that I thought is a perfect embodiment of this whole energy, especially in light of the Oscars, the Academy Awards ceremony that just happened this past Sunday. And one of the nominated films was the United States versus Billie Holiday, where the actor Andra Day just did an amazing job portraying this giant of a woman, Billie Holiday, who had so many problems, but she spoke and sang with such depth and with such conviction that her work still resonates to this day. And there's a song that Billie Holiday sang that perfectly reflects this moon, this full moon in Scorpio. And the song is called Body and Soul. And the reason why it's so perfect is because the full moon in Scorpio is highlighting this very theme of the body and the soul. The Scorpio moon wants to deal with soul issues, and it's opposing the sun in Taurus, which wants to deal with body and possessions and things that it can feel and touch and taste. So I want to read the lyrics to you because it's perfect. It says, "My days have grown so lonely. For you I cry, for you dear only. Why haven't you seen it? I'm all for you, body and soul. I spend my days in longing. I'm wondering why it's me you're wronging. Oh, I tell you I mean it. I'm all for you, body and soul. I can't believe it. It's hard to conceive it that you throw away romance. Are you pretending? It looks like the ending, unless I can have one more chance to prove, dear. My life a hell you're making. You know I'm yours just for the taking. I'd gladly surrender myself to you, body and soul." And it's perfect for this Scorpio moon because the Scorpio moon is bringing up this depth of feeling. Things that have been buried come out, and they come out in a powerful way. And you may find yourself compulsively feeling that something that has been held in just comes out, and you almost can't control it. And it comes out in a burst that makes you feel really vulnerable. And yet at the same time, it makes you feel free because you are releasing something that has been suppressed. But the whole releasing of that energy causes a heightened awareness between you and others because it puts you out in a place where you have to admit what's going on. And it's a good thing. It can be a tender thing, it can be a vulnerable thing, but ultimately it's a good thing. Now, whether or not you will be received depends on who you're dealing with, because the Scorpio moon, as I said, is opposing the Taurus sun. The Taurus energy is all about keeping the status quo, letting things be the same, wanting things to be stable and secure. So Taurus is not really wanting to expose itself. It's not wanting to risk anything. And that's the tension of the full moon, right? So you have the opportunity to open up and release, but at the same time, it has to be balanced with the need to keep things on an even keel. And where you fall on that spectrum, it depends on where these planets, the sun and moon, fall in your chart, in your personal astrology chart. The best that we can say is, if you open up and express what's true, then you'll feel not only vulnerable and sensitive, but you'll feel relieved. If you keep things bottled up, it's probably not going to be a good week because the energy has to release. And so it could be a source of a lot of tension. And yet at the same time, if you are able to balance the emotional needs with the needs of being practical and taking care of business and responding to things in a simple and secure way, then the Taurus moon offers you a way to have revelation at the same time have peace. So that's a nice dynamic to work for this week. And a lot of this may have happened already because the full moon is exact right now, but it's been building for the last 4 or 5 days. So a lot of that may have already happened for you over this past weekend, and yet there may be some things still unfolding over the next 2 or 3 days up until the end of this week. So I just love this body and soul because it speaks so viscerally about the need to feel connected and the sense that there might be something that has to be surrendered so that you can actually experience that connection with someone. Other than that, the other big thing this week that we have to be aware of is the Sun and Uranus coming together in the sign of Taurus, and that is exact on Friday. So Uranus is the great disruptor, and the Sun coming to touch Uranus means Friday is a day to have some fun. Let loose. Do something that's going to make you feel free. There's something that's calling you to be a unique expression of yourself. Let it breathe, as Jay-Z is fond of saying recently. Let it breathe, let it breathe, let it breathe. Let yourself hang out and let the uniqueness that you are exist without any inhibitions. It's okay, it's fine, it's a great time. Do something different, break the mold. Don't try to keep the status quo. It's a great time to study some astrology. It's a great time to do things that create sudden change and sudden openness and sudden breaking away from traditions. Just go for it. And with the Sun in Taurus, you're not likely to go too far because, as we've said this earlier in this post and last week, Taurus is very stubborn. So Uranus is a chance to move some of that Taurus energy and make it more accessible. It's a time when you can take that Taurus stodginess, that Taurus conservativeness, and break it up a little bit. It's almost like an earthquake. Not a major earthquake where things get torn apart, but still where the earth shakes and things change and there's awareness that things need to change. And with the Sun-Uranus conjunction this week, you can be really free, and you can really find ways to make changes without disrupting and throwing away everything. So I suggest for you to go ahead and plan for this weekend, especially Friday, to be a time when you let loose, have some fun, drink some wine, go to a park, go to the beach, be in nature, express yourself sensually. Taurus is about the sensual energy. food, what you can taste, massage, what you can feel, art that you can see, music that you can hear, all the senses. Make your senses come alive this week. Tell your senses that it's okay to be alive, and allow yourself to feel and to touch and to taste and to become immersed in something that makes you feel free. And I promise you, you should do it, because next week we got some challenges coming with Saturn, all these planets affecting Saturn in Aquarius. So we need to be aware that this energy won't be as easy as soon as really Saturday, Sunday, the energy is going to start to change. So when we start dealing with Saturn next week, we're talking about a whole different type of energy. So take this week to be alive and to feel good and to feel free. And of course, if you need a reading, you can always reach out to us at Astrologic Astrology. Our website is astrologicastrology.com. We're on Instagram at Astrologic Astrology, and of course, YouTube. So take advantage of all this great passion that's in the air this week and give it all you have, because next week it won't be the same. And that's the nature of reality, right? It's always changing. Okay, so again, we always wish you love and peace, and we always say goodbye with the word namaste. The spirit in me recognizes and honors the spirit in you.